When using InterSystems IRIS data platform, you can access external data in a couple of different ways. One option is to load data directly into your instance. You can also project data from an external location using a feature called Foreign Tables. In some cases, loading external data into InterSystems IRIS can be impractical. For example, say you need to access a remote database that is frequently updated. This would require constant synchronization with the data source to ensure the data is up to date each time you need to access it. Or maybe you have a large file-based data set that only needs to be queried occasionally. Storing this data in InterSystems IRIS would take up costly storage that could be used to store more frequently accessed data. Foreign tables allow you to project external data into InterSystems SQL without actually storing the data. This link allows you to retrieve up-to-date data from external sources and access data in large files without taking up storage space on your instance. Data in remote databases can be projected into InterSystems SQL using standard connection mechanisms such as JDBC, allowing you to run queries as you would for tables stored internally. Foreign tables support connections to remote databases of any vendor with a standard connector, including Postgres, Microsoft SQL Server, Oracle, and other instances of InterSystems IRIS. Beyond connecting to remote databases, you can also use foreign tables to project external CSV files into your instance. Accessing external data may be somewhat slower than accessing data stored in InterSystems IRIS, but the projected data is always up to date and doesn't add to the storage footprint of your instance. Once created, foreign tables can be used just like a regular SQL table in InterSystems IRIS. You can query these tables as you would any other and use joins with other tables, no matter where the data is projected from. You can use foreign tables exclusively or in conjunction with data loaded into InterSystems IRIS. Your method will depend on the data source, size, and how often the data is updated. This gives you high flexibility when performing data onboarding for machine learning or business intelligence. Beyond these analytical use cases, foreign tables are also useful in operational use cases. For example, you may need to do a lookup in a remote database as part of a business process, or access a very large data file that is rarely used, such as audit data. Foreign tables give you flexibility in data integration and access, allowing you to implement a smart data fabric architecture. To define a foreign table, follow these two short steps. First, create the foreign server representing the external database server or file system, then define the table. This is all done using DDL syntax. Using this command, the structure of the foreign table is created based on the structure of the source table. Refer to InterSystems documentation for more information on providing an alternative mapping. After creating the foreign table, you can use it in queries just like any other table. Projecting data into InterSystems IRIS is an alternative to traditional loading that helps you efficiently connect systems and services.